Welcome back to part 2 of Jenny Greenhouse. This is where I make the miniature roses. This is what the kit came with. I don't really care for that, so I am going to make this for you today. And just wanted to say that I posted this on Facebook on a couple sites or a couple groups, and people were telling me to make a tutorial, and so I'm finally making one, and it's been a while, but I'm glad I'm able to put this out there. So I start off with cutting out, it's a little over 1 centimeter strips of red paper. I had to get this myself. It doesn't come with the kit. And I'm showing you here that it's a little over 1 centimeter. And then I kind of fold it like this a few times. I think that's about 7 times. That way I can do 7 petals all at once. And what I do is I just kind of freehand it, make a teardrop or a petal, draw it, and then cut it out. And I made a mistake here where I cut it out and then I just spread it apart. Now, what you might want to do is cut a slit before you take it apart like that, because you're going to need to make a slit for every single petal. Here, I am making the stems for the roses. What I do is I just base it off like a good proportion to the vase. How far do you want it sticking out of the vase? I made foundation for it, or for them to sit on, using an eraser and just taping on some flour foam to it. And just, it's a good place for it to dry. And here, I'm making little rectangle prisms, just like this. And that way, that's where the roses or the rose petals are going to stick to. So what I do here, I have this system where I take the glue with a paintbrush, very fine paintbrush or very small, and then I would put a glob of glue and put it on just like that. And then you would, of course, have to make it like dry up for a while, and make sure it's dry so you can't use it right away, or you can't work on the roses right away. So a glob again, take the flour foam. Sometimes I just kind of go back and forth to make sure it's on there good, because you don't want that part to break or, come apart when you are making the roses. So what you do here is you only put glue on the other half of the slit, and then just put it over each other, like overlap. And then that way it makes kind of like a curl for the petal. So I do that with all the petals and I make them dry. Just like that. I hope you can see it. And so this is what I'm going to make it look like. I had to do a few trials to make sure it works out or it looks good. So with the flour foam, have it in one hand. Then I get a petal and I put glue all over the whole petal, right? This is the first part. You would put it straight onto, and I wish I could pause here, but I did it with all 3. You put glue all over the petal, and you use 3 petals for that first part to cover the whole flour foam. Now I'm on the second layer, and what you do is every petal that you put, every layer, you would kind of go in between the previous petals. If that makes sense. So I'm done here with the second layer. So that's what that looks like if you curl it. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it a little bit fuller and go 1 more layer. And that 1 more layer is going to have another 3. So this flower here is going to have a total of 9 petals. Again, like overlap it or stagger it, if that makes sense. Don't put it right on top of a petal in the same spot because it's not going to look like a real petal. Now this one, this green thing that I put for the bottom of the rose, you're going to have to also create your own, because I kind of freehanded that too. Cut it out, glue, and then just glue that bottom part because you want those, the tips to stick out. And I'm going to show you real quick what I do. I curl it. And I use tweezers. Normally you curl with scissors, but these are tiny miniature roses. So this tweezer works perfectly. So curling it, you just kind of flick through each piece all the way to the tip, and it gives it that nice curl. Cool? They're so pretty. So if it bothers you that you see all the glue pieces, you would try to be a little bit more, what's the word? Neat, I guess. And so I put the roses, I set it up like that. I put flower foam in the vase, and then I set up the roses like that. So I cut one stem to be shorter kind of thing and arrange them like that to have it look like that. Then, I put glue here. The kit comes with this blush, this little greenery, and I'm taking out those little pieces so that it could stick on there and cover the flower foam. And there you have it. Oh my goodness, doesn't it look cute?